Hi, so this is Polly Benson, OT handwriting coach, and we are here with a follow-up interview today. So welcome, Mandy and Kourt. How are you doing?
Good. Great.
Good. So tell me first of all, we were a little over a year ago, we met and got together, and you were frustrated mama. So tell me where you were at that time in your life with Kourt.
So at that point, it was the summer before fourth grade, and I felt like I had hit a wall as far as progression in handwriting and using the normal channels of like bringing it up at school, bringing it up in conferences. I felt like it kept kind of being swept under the rug, that I was starting to become more and more concerned about the progression of the legibility of Kourt's handwriting. So it was something I really wanted to spend some additional attention on during the summer before starting fourth grade.
Okay. Awesome. And so then you went through fourth grade, and tell me how that year went. Like what did you do throughout that year? And then we'll talk about where he is now.
Okay. So we reached out to Polly over the summer, actually really just as a friend, and trying to explore like what my options were, what the appropriate channels were, because I'd asked for an OT evaluation at school. He didn't really qualify for it. And so we started using the Legiliner and kind of started out with just some basic exercises and kind of a basic plan. I think one of the first things that jumped out to me was having Polly work with us on just like small goals, and one of those being legibility. So it wasn't perfection, it wasn't forming the letters properly, it was just getting his handwriting to a place that was readable. And so really with just a few sessions, with some kind of breaking it down into bite-sized pieces of the combination of some fine motor skill exercises and then some Legiliner things, we just kind of made it fun. Some ideas of where we could focus our attention, and it has progressed very nicely. So I think, did we start the year with a 1 in handwriting? We either ended last year or started the year with a 1 in handwriting.
Ended last year, got 2 this year.
Okay. So we started the year like about average or a little bit behind on handwriting.
Okay. And what do you remember about the first few times that we met, Kourt?
It was always so fun, and you had me right, and I remember my handwriting being totally horrible, but now I can actually write pretty decent sentences.
Oh, good. Okay. So what after this school year, then how is that playing out this school year? So we've just hit our second summer, or 1 year summer, and so we're into the next school year. And do you have any stories of anything that happened during those school year?
These last couple of weeks, I've actually been writing longer stories.
Awesome.
During
and
writing.
What do your teachers think about that?
My teacher put a note on my report card that I've been working so hard and that my handwriting's getting really better.
Awesome. And what does that translate into a score? You said you got a 1 and then a 2. Where are you at now?
3.
Awesome. So just a little over a year and a few months.
Yep. So one of the big things that jumps out to me was curriculum night at the beginning of the school year. So it was a few weeks into the school year. He was super excited for me to see something he'd written at school that was hanging on the wall. He was really proud. He was like, I worked really hard. I really took my time. Wait until you see my handwriting. So that was just a fun thing for us to look forward to. I feel like it turned something that maybe we were both feeling frustration over into something really positive that he could show me and that we were looking forward to seeing on curriculum night. And so that was a dramatic improvement in just a few weeks, really. And then, but his teacher has really noticed like his intention, him slowing down. And so we hadn't revisited it a whole lot with his teacher other than letting her know it was something we were working on. And then, so for her to bring it up this quarter, and his grade to dramatically have improved. And then that's the only thing she remarked on was she's seeing a huge improvement in his handwriting and his speed and pace of his writing. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was definitely the neatness and him taking his time. So that was a really big deal for us to have his teacher notice that and remark on it independently.
Hi, Sweetie. How are you?
She actually, when she heard we were doing a meeting, she was like, I want to work on my handwriting today, mommy.
That's good. So, and that's something you said previously, is that she got the benefits of the handwriting instruction too, because you had started in with Kourt and she wanted to learn along with him.
Yes.
Yes. So what are any other specific areas that still seem challenging for Kourt?
Not really any.
I don't really think any, as far as school's concerned. He's thriving, and so
I'm testing for gifted now.
he's being tested for gifted, and I think his teachers just have noticed a really big improvement in all of his work this year. He's gone from, average to excelling, and I think some of that is just confidence in what he's doing.
Awesome. So you have more confidence, Kourt, in what your answers are because your handwriting's better?
Yes.
Yeah. What about compared to your peers and your other classmates? How do you feel about your handwriting now?
Pretty good. Just I'm falling a little behind on cursive, but I can absolutely fix that. I just need to study my book that I have on cursive.
Okay.
But I'm like pretty much tied with all of them.
Okay. Awesome.
I think your cursive looks great, and I think we also noticed a difference with the ease of his cursiveness. And I think you'd mentioned that during one of our when I brought some concerns to you. I think you had mentioned that cursive might be different for him.
Do Elasti's on this?
I don't know.
I think she did.
So that was great information too, is learning like there is a difference in techniques and skills for cursive versus print.
Yeah, there is a connection between the left and right brain when you're writing cursive, because you have to connect the letters. And so sometimes that's easier for kids to do as well. What did you find were your greatest resources with the LegiLiners? Like, what LegiLiner resources did you find most helpful?
Obviously I love the LegiLiners and the different sizes. It just makes it fun. It can turn anything into something they can write on. They loved the different exercises that you taught us in between. Like, we have silly putty everywhere because they love it. So I think just some of those fine motor exercises, and then we really looked forward to being part of the VIP group and the additional resources that came with those.
Awesome. Were you able to consistently practice the exercises that we gave you?
In all honesty, no.
Okay.
It was hit or miss. When I would get hyper focused on it, we would really work on it, and then we would forget. But I will say
we got brand new putty, didn't we?
We sure to see the putty. It was a big hit. I'm telling you, they love the putty. I think one of the biggest takeaways for us though was that some of the things we worked on were so simple that he could apply them in the classroom and in school, even when I wasn't right there working with him. So we definitely saw an improvement with little effort, as sad as that is to say. But no, yeah, we did not practice as much as we would have liked, but it definitely we saw huge successes.
Good. And so you're a busy mom. How did you fit the activities in your day? How did it work for you?
We had a system initially where he had like certain things he was supposed to do in the morning before we watched TV or did any relaxing things. But yes, you're right. I work full time. We have sports most days of the week after school. And so sometimes it just fell by the wayside. We tried
all of the times.
All the time. Sorry. There it is.
I said it.
So basically you're saying that you weren't able to consistently incorporate the exercises and activities, but what time we did spend together was very effective for helping you, and you were able to implement them in your regular schoolwork and when you did your writing at home for your homework day, and that was something that worked for your family.
Definitely. It was not something that we spent a ton of extra time outside of our normal daily activities, but the things that he did learn were implemented, I feel like, almost immediately in his work.
Awesome. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with his progress over the last year?
A 20.
How about you, Kourt?
20.
Me, I am a 9.
9. Okay. How can you
just
make it?
Just because I feel like I could get better.
Okay. Well, that's good. Do you have a goal for next year?
No, not
for the rest of anything just for this school year?
This.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Do you remember anything specifically that you liked doing, Kourt or Mandy? Can you think of anything that was additional?
The app. They loved the app. And then
Okay.
I know I mentioned this in the past, but the little things like having the stylet, the appropriate size to help them, that's something they would ask to do when, especially when each other was playing sports, because we usually didn't really do screen time. So they knew, like, as a special thing, if Weston was at gymnastics and Kourt went, he knew he could do the letter writing app on my phone.
Awesome.
Right.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about or anything else you'd like to add?
No, but the mechanical pencils were really good in the beginning, but I kind of got used to the regular pencil again.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
So-
Are your regular pencil tips lasting? Or are they breaking?
Yes, and also they're not breaking too much, but rarely when they break, because I sharpen them too long, I just sharpen them again.
Okay. So do you have some handwriting that you want to show me? Do you want to put it up in front of the camera?
I did write something like this.
Okay.
Oh, I love my mom, and then he wrote boohoo.
Very good. Yeah.
You had asked, are there any other things? I would say we are just so thankful for the help and the expertise and just the resources, because I really was at a loss and really felt kind of stuck somewhere in the middle where he wasn't qualifying for any additional help, but something felt off. And so we really appreciate the little bit of time we put in, and the little bit of information you provided us with and the additional tools you provided us with, like, paid off in droves. We're in a completely different place than we were in a year ago, even though it didn't feel, he wasn't falling behind in school. He wasn't, there weren't any concerns really being brought to us. But then when we saw the difference in a year, all of a sudden his teacher is making remarks on his progress and his, even just at school. One of my concerns was math, and I was worried about how his handwriting legibility would translate as math got higher and higher levels, because I was worried he wouldn't be able to write legibly, and he's excelling in math. So even though we weren't falling behind, it's almost like the progress is still being noticed in a really good way. So we're excited. We've had a really good school year, right?
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that the handwriting helped, just making it a little more legible, that it helped your confidence, that the tools were, not hard to implement, and that you could get them in your busy lifestyle and still show all this progress. So thank you so much for updating our listeners, our watchers, all our fans, all our Legiliner fans. We appreciate
Whoever's out there.
all the audience. Yeah. So we just thank you so much for giving us this interview. So good luck to you. And I'm sure we'll still stay in touch. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Bye.